welcome back to my channel. I'm Danny, fertility awareness practitioner, certified nutrition counselor, and HA recovery coach. I'm talking to you today about exercise, and I have attempted to film this video like 3 times. It's really tough to talk about exercise in a way that is helpful and only serving people. So with that, I want to tell you that this episode is specifically for people who are far along in their recovery journey, right? It's specifically for people who have had 1, 2, 3 recovery periods or something like that. It can also be for people who are trying to get their period back with exercise. But I want you to know that no matter what you do, if you are training and trying to get your period back at the same time, you need to be tracking your cycle. You need to be ensuring that you're not pushing it too far and that you're not using excuses to allow yourself to exercise when you really should be backing off, or allow yourself to exercise harder when you really should be backing off. So to begin this, let's talk about the definition of exercise. Activity requiring physical effort carried out to sustain or improve health and fitness. So nowhere in that definition does it say exercise is for weight loss, exercise is for making yourself smaller, exercise is to work off food that you ate, none of that. It is to improve or sustain health and fitness. And that is really important to have that as a guiding star, guiding principle when you're making decisions around how to work out. I want to talk about a few of the benefits today of exercise to give you confidence for bringing it back in, to give you ways to look at it and frame it, ways to prioritize your training, right? Because I think if we don't have these guiding principles in our tool belt, we're more likely to try and use exercise as a weight loss tool only. And some of us think that we're training in a way to perform well, but if none of what I say today ends up being a part of your guiding principles, I want you to relook at what your why is behind exercise, because I really believe that these should be the things at the forefront of your mind when you're training. And if they're not, I think that you still have some areas you need to work on mentally that might be, as a result, holding you back from full recovery and full optimal hormone health. Let's dive in. But before we do, please subscribe to this channel. I release a video every week, so if you want to know about it, you'll get alerted. So please do that and thumbs this video up, because it helps me and it helps other women find information about HA. So one of my favorite reasons for exercise is because it actually stops you from getting more unwell. Okay, so when we decide to live in the sitting position or the standing position or the lying down position, we start to get really stiff, we start to lose mobility, and we're not actually pumping the blood and therefore a whole bunch of nutrients through our body and specifically through our joints. So when we do like a lunge or a squat or this, we're helping to pump blood through those areas. So that's actually helping you to remain flexible, to improve mobility. And if you have any kind of injuries, it's actually literally feeding those joints the nutrients that it needs to stay healthy. So this is why I don't really love the approach of do absolutely nothing. I like the idea of you doing a stretch routine. I like the idea of you walking. I like the idea of you just moving your whole body through a range of motion. I think what's most important is that you're fed when you do these things when it comes to HA recovery. Otherwise, please move your body in a way so that you're not so stiff and you'll feel much better mentally. And this brings us to our second one, which is the mental benefits, right? We all know about them. And it's important that you don't use the mental benefits of exercise as an excuse to over-exercise, okay? Like we said before, exercise is not about weight loss. Exercise is about maintaining health and fitness. And health can mean just a little bit of mental clarity, a little bit less anxiety. And oftentimes the benefits of exercise on your mental health are linked with just the simple fact that you went outside, that you breathed fresh air. So this is a lot more better of a guiding star. This is serving you better when you have the goal of exercising for your mental health. But it's so important that you're not using that as a reason to not reduce exercise. Very important caveat. I recommend talking to someone about that and talking out your why and making sure that you're only exercising for those reasons. And I will tell you, if you're doing any kind of structured training program as a runner or a weightlifter or something, and you're doing more than 3 days a week, I already know you're doing too much. I'm just gonna say that right now. You should be able to get the mental benefits of exercise from doing a really light body weight routine or a walk, or sitting on a bike for like 30 minutes. But it's very important that you're fed. I'm gonna say that for every single reason that I give for exercise here today. Okay, the third one here is maintaining muscle mass. So we know that as we age, we actually benefit from having more muscle mass as we go. And also, if you have any kind of bone health concerns, which as we know in age 8 can be common, it is especially important that we have muscle mass maintained to help our own body structural integrity. So having muscle mass is good. So when we don't exercise, what's going to happen? It's going to atrophy. It's going to go away. But if we do some kind of light movement and light resistance training to help us maintain it during this time, this is going to be really beneficial. Now, we're not looking to make muscle gains during HA recovery, and we're not even looking to fully maintain our muscle mass. If you are someone with a lot of muscle mass, you're probably going to atrophy during recovery. That's just a part of it. But there are benefits to doing things like, uphill walks or sled pushes and pulls or body weight or very light squatting and deadlifting, things like that, just to help us maintain that muscle mass. And that kind of leads into, my other point about nourishing the joints and about mental health, right? Those three things, those three reasons that I gave now can all be combined into one. And they're all great reasons. None of them push you to overtrain. They're totally reasonable. Like, that's what this is about. I'm not going to go too much further into this. The last thing I want to say here is that, guys, exercise is really effective and valuable when done correctly. One of the most interesting things in my work with women trying to recover who over-exercise is that they have a goal to improve. We want to be better. You want to be better. Like, you want to perform better, you want to feel better, but we're so stuck in this idea that being smaller and looking a certain way equals feeling better, and the only way to do that is to overtrain. And all that makes literally no sense, when actually what you want to do is elicit the biggest, best training response with the least amount of effort possible. And research shows us that typically that's 3 days a week. Unless you are a teenager who is brand new or like young in their sport and ready to do a summer camp only with double sessions every day, or you're an Olympian and you're putting winning gold first above your health, like, unless that's you don't need to be doing more than 3 days a week of a structured training program. And the rest can and should be much more restful. This isn't just something I'm telling you so that you work out less and get your period back. This is true, that you will make more progress. So when you decide to work out 5, 6, 7 days a week because you're afraid that you're going to lose your gains or go backwards in your health and fitness progress, when you choose to do that, you are actually losing gains and going backwards in your health and fitness progress. I know this to be true. We all know this to be true. Why are you so special in that you need to overtrain, but no one else does? That's not realistic. I challenge you to only train 3 days a week, and you will see the same, if not better, progress than you training 5, 6, 7 days a week. So that's what's insane about it. Like, it's absurd that and don't worry, I did this too, I feel you. But it's actually absurd because you want to improve. You want to make gains. You want to build muscle mass. You want to be stronger. You want to perform better. But you're doing things like allowing yourself to not have a period, but continuing to train, like training 5, 6, 7 days a week, like training in an underfed state. You're doing all of these things to try and get better. And that's not how it works. It's actually not how it works. So do yourself a favor and train less, and you will actually do better. You will actually gain more. That's really the message I want to get across today. If you guys have any other questions about HA or want any topics covered, please put them below in the comments, or make sure you're on my email list. Just go to thehasociety.com because there you can chat directly with me. And definitely make sure you're on the waitlist for the HA Society. We open every couple of months. So go to thehasociety.com/join. The link is in the show notes, and put yourself on the list, and I will send you an invitation when there's a spot ready. It is a community filled with amazing women who are all trying to get their period back. We're all like best friends. We meet a couple times a week on Zoom calls to talk through the issues, work on recovery, and I would love to see you there. And while you're here, again, please make sure you subscribe, thumbs up this channel, and I will see you next week for next week's video.